Hi guys, and good evening, and welcome to another video on United Chat TV. Tonight, all it's going to be about is the Glazers, the Glazer family, and what sort of mess United are in at the moment. So if you don't know, the Glazer family took over Manchester United in 2005, and ever since then, there's been nothing but problems. The debt's been rising year upon year. There's a lot of money being taken out of the club, and they've been using the money to be able to fund their own luxury lifestyles and to be able to look after their own businesses in outside of the footballing world. So the reason I'm doing this video tonight is to make a lot of United fans, and for United fans to be able to get on the channel and be able to voice their opinion about the Glazers, and hopefully be able to come to something, and maybe more protests might start happening. And maybe we can drive them out this football club, because me as a United fan, I want them gone. They've been nothing but parasites for this football club. They know nothing about football. And I want someone in charge, someone who understands football, someone who understands Manchester United, not someone who's more interested in their own businesses or their NFL team, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm hoping this video does get a lot of United fans on board. I will be live for about, say, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then that'll be it for tonight. So, first of all, Joel Glazer. Joel Glazer took control of the club after Malcolm Glazer died. And since then, there's been him, there's Avram, there's Darcy, there's Edward, there's Kevin, and there's Brian, all part of the Glazer family, and these are part that own Manchester United, and a lot of them have been selling the shares in the club to be able to raise a bit of money for themselves. But this sort of money isn't going back into the club, so the shares they are selling, it's for their own personal gain. The club ain't getting anything out of this. So it's all about using it for their own personal gain. As for Joel, I don't like him. He promised after the European Super League debacle to start engaging with fans more, start more fans forums, and he's failed to deliver on that. Avram, after United got knocked out the Champions League last week, he was jetting around the world, going to the F1 and meeting up with Manchester City's chairman to discuss about cricket. Once again, nothing to do with Manchester United. The fact that he's not even bothered, to say the least, about this football club, and the fact that they're just more interested in using the club for their own personal games, and the fact that they've took nearly 1.4 billion out of this football club is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that the debts went up year upon year upon year, the debt now stands at £494 million. Yeah, that might not be a lot to Manchester United because of the amount of money they turn over year upon year upon year in commercial. But the difference in this is what the Glazers are trying to achieve. Yeah, it's worked out for now, but in the long run, it won't work out, because they'll continue to do what they're doing now and they'll bleed United dry. And that's what a lot of United fans are scared about. A lot of United fans are scared about the future of this football club under owners that don't care what manager we've got in place, don't care about the fans, and not really bothered about the players. It says a lot that Tom Brady come to Old Trafford at the weekend. He's attended his first United game. That's as many as Joel and Avram and the rest of them have attended since they took over Manchester United, which is ridiculous. And the fact that every Manchester United manager's expectations, as was a league contract when Ollie got sacked, was challenge for the top four. As long as a Manchester United manager makes top four and is within reach of the top four, then the Glazers are happy. This is not Manchester United. You talk about Manchester United, you talk about winning trophies, fantastic football, and competing at the top every year. Not challenging for the top 4. We're not Spurs. We're not Arsenal. We're not happy. Our fans aren't happy with this sort of thing. Oh, it's all right. Our fans don't accept mediocrity. And that's what the Glazers think. Top 4 is mediocrity. It is. We're happy with the top 4. Wow. Why? Our nearest rivals have went on and lifted the Champions League, lifted the Premier League. Oh, it's all right as long as we get top 4 and we get that European money in our back pocket. Who cares? The fans care because we've had enough. So I'm hoping there's someone out there that will come in and will buy Manchester United, someone who will love the club and take us back to where we belong. Someone who will come to Old Trafford and show the passion rather than sit at home in Tampa, hiding behind his steel walls like Osama bin Laden in his cave. I'm hoping someone comes in with the passion to make Manchester United what it used to be. Fergie papered over the cracks at Manchester United when the Glazers took over. Fergie was that good of a manager. He was able to win the trophies year upon year upon year. I know Osama bin Laden wasn't in Tampa, Brad. I compared it. Joe Glazer hides in Tampa. Where have we heard that before? Over steel walls. And Chris, I wouldn't have Mike Ashley nowhere near Manchester United. You've seen what he done to Newcastle, and I think he's close to taking over Derby. But anyways, the main thing is, if you're taking over Manchester United and you're passionate about the football club, which the next owner needs to be, if there is even a next owner, you want to be able to engage with the fans, keep the fans online with what you're planning, not going behind the back like Woodward and the Glazers did with the whole European Super League, because that was just downright out of order, and that's what started all them protests off last year. And I agree with the fans, that's what they did. But the one thing I don't agree with, after that one, which the game against Liverpool got postponed, the protest died down. It should never have died down. They should have kept on and kept on and kept on, and to force the Glazers to sell this football club. That's what should have happened, but it didn't, unfortunately. But now it's all about United fans just coming together to be able to get the Glazers out. Right. The next subject I'm going to go on to is once again about Manchester United. It's about the mess Manchester United are in and the ridiculous amount of overspending United have done, the ridiculous wages that United have offered out to the players that just basically absolutely extortionate. I managed to do my research today, and a lad at work sent me this picture of the weekly salaries that some of the Manchester United players are on. And when I looked at it, I was absolutely astounded. Just listen to this. Cristiano Ronaldo is on £510,000 a week. David De Gea is on 375 grand a week. Jadon Sancho is on 350 grand a week. Rafael Varane is on 340 grand a week. Paul Pogba is on £290,000 a week. This is a man who has hardly performed this season and wants a contract that's worth nearly £400,000 to £500,000 a week for a guy that's hardly performed. The next one is for someone who has hardly started this season and hasn't impressed me as much as last season, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Edison Cavani, 250 grand a week. He's earning 250 grand a week when he's hardly played, he's been out injured, supposedly, and it's stealing money off the club. It's once again, part of this deadwood that United can't seem to shift. Marcus Rashford, £200,000 a week. Like, he's complaining about, I understand about his game time, but he hasn't shown anything to merit even being paid £2,000 a week. Never mind £200,000 a week. I'd love that sort of money, but it's ridiculous. And listen to this. Harry Maguire is on £190,000 a week. Harry Maguire, the guy that isn't even fit to be a footballer, never mind Manchester United captain, is on nearly £200,000 a week. Just please explain what sort of idiot, oh wait, I forgot. We have idiots in charge of this football club, and we have idiots in the structure that are prepared to pay whatever it is to get these players in. I agree with you there, Chris. That's been the whole business model is a failure, and it is deemed, and in the next couple of years, it'll come back to bite the Glazers on their ass. The amount of years United miss out on Champions League football because they ain't making it this year. And we'll soon see what happens. And I agree with you, Siobhan. Doesn't deserve it. It's been absolutely ridiculous this season. His performances have been diabolical. But once again, he's one of the players in this United team and on the bench that's stealing a living. When I was looking at it, I couldn't believe that Bruno Fernandes is earning less than Paul Pogba, Harry Maguire, Edison Cavani and Marcus Rashford. But yet he's outperformed nearly everyone this season, even though people have said he's had an average season. Bruno Fernandes is on £180,000 a week. He's stalling on a new contract because he wants to be one of the highest earners at this football club. And I believe he should. If United are going to be serious about challenging and actually be a serious football club, he needs to be the one that this club built around, and he deserves the money. Cavani doesn't deserve the money. Maguire doesn't deserve the money. Marcus Rashford doesn't deserve the money. Paul Pogba doesn't deserve the money. Lingard doesn't deserve 120 grand a week. It's just overpaying on average players and giving them contracts that no one else is going to pay. No one else is going to come to United and go 30 million and give Harry Maguire 200 grand a week. No, like when United bought him, Leicester laughed all the way to the bank. It's same as the whole Fred. I agree. Fred this season he's been good to an extent. In some games he has, and in some games he's been doesn't even deserve to be in the team. But he's another one that's inconsistent. Was he worth £50 million? No. Was he worth 30? I think 25, 30 million. Yes. There's Juan Mata, who has hardly started this season, and he's sitting on the bench and he's earning 160 grand a week. And this is someone who last summer had the option to leave the club. He could have left and he could have played first team football. But no, he's sitting on the bench and he's earning 160 grand a week. And it's just, if you looked at this list, and in the summer, when Pogba leaves on a free transfer, Cavani leaves on a free transfer, Matic leaves on a free transfer, and Mata leaves on a free transfer, and then Lingard leaves, United have nearly saved £1 million in wages. £1 million on nearly 4 or 5 players. I'm sorry, but that's just ridiculous. And these aren't even players who deserve that sort of money. Like, it's ridiculous. I agree with you there, Siobhan. Mohamed Salah, and I thought when he come to Liverpool, and I thought, all right, he's going to sign a new contract for a couple of years. He'll be one of them that won't want much. You know what I mean? He's now demanding 400 grand a week. More than likely he's going to leave. Liverpool won't pay him 400 grand a week. Liverpool, I understand, have set the bar when it comes to not giving the players the sort of money that they want. But you look at United, they bend over backwards. They gave Phil Jones a new contract. They gave Jesse Lingard a new contract, and then they had the chance to let him go after his brilliant half a season with West Ham. It just baffles me how a football club like Manchester United are run. Like, I'd love to be in Carrington for a day, sat next to John Murtagh and Darren Fletcher, and just see what goes through their minds. And even this new CEO, Richard Arnold, he was one of Woodward's right-hand man. So forgive me for having reservations about, is he going to be the same as Ed Woodward? Because all the rumours are coming out that, oh, no, he's not. He's going to let the footballing department deal with it. But at the end of the day, they've still got Matt Judge when it comes to footballing transfers. And as I pointed out last night, Matt Judge, his background isn't even football. And this is the guy that negotiated the transfer of Harry Maguire over Virgil van Dijk, Koulibaly, Robin Goalie, De Ligt, and a few other centre-backs. And for £80 million. I'm sorry, but in that team, in the structure, needs the head checked. And that's why I'm hoping someone this summer does have the head checked, and United stop offering ridiculous wages for players that don't deserve it. Because United have spent nearly 1.4 billion on 40 players, and with the way you look at it, they've made less than 200 million back on all them. 40 players, and that astounds me. I had the list, but I'll be here all night. And I couldn't believe it. It started off with Marouane Fellaini when they signed him for 30 million, and then I think he left for nothing. And it's just something that this football club needs to change. And as I've said from day one, it goes all the way from the structure at the top, because even the football and transfers, the negotiation team, they've still got to wait for Joel Glazer to sign off the checks. So until that changes and Joel Glazer is swept out the football club, Avram Fat Hot Dog Glazer swept out this football club, and the rest of the Glazer family have been completely annihilated for this football team and this football club, United will not challenge. In my opinion, we overachieved finishing second in 2017 under Mourinho, when we won the Europa League. I agree with you, Chris, but the big difference is you talk about United and all you're wanting is, what's the point of going to players and offering them this, that and t'other? The way it should be is you go to that player and ask, do you want to play for United? It doesn't matter what wage. If they want to play for Manchester United, then they will accept whatever wage the club gets, not throwing ridiculous amounts of money expecting the players to come back. Like, you look at that list that I read out, and the only reason half of them players signed for United or have signed new contracts is because of the wages. Whereas there'd be players out there who actually want to play for this football club and players that would give their all. But United don't see that. The way with United work is, and I've seen this on Twitter and I've seen this by talking to a lot of people, the way United work is we're a little thing called social media FC. When United sign a player, it's all about social media clicks. How many followers have they got on Instagram? How many friends have they got on Facebook? How many followers have they got on Twitter? and then they brand that player around. If United can't brand a player and merchandise that player, they won't sign him. And that's the one thing I've noticed. I'll never know how you can merchandise Harry Maguire. Maybe Maguire's fridges. That might be the only thing, but that's a lot of thing around social media FC, and that's gone from talking to people and talking to people close to the club and listening to people who are close to the club and seeing all the interviews on Twitter and learning about what United actually are from the inside. And even Jose Mourinho said his biggest achievement was finishing second with Manchester United. This is the guy who's won the Champions League countless amount of times. He's won the Premier League with Chelsea. He won the league with Porto. He won the Champions League with Porto. I'm sorry, but finishing second with Manchester United with the finances that he had, and then winning the Champions League with Porto, the finances they've got and the players they had, that's the biggest. I'd say that's one of the biggest achievements of his career. But he says finishing second. So what does that say about this football club? It says a lot about the structure. It says a lot about what's going on behind the scenes. It says a lot about the players' work ethic. It says a lot about the players' mentality when they're coming in. And it says a lot about the team as a whole, that Manchester United aren't a football team. They're a bunch of individuals. In this club, there ain't no team. It's all about me, 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 me. What about me? What about me? No, it's me. No. There's no team, which is sad, really, because all of these players have thrown manager after manager after manager under the bus. And until, as I said, something straightened out, player-wise, structure-wise, moving forward, then every other manager coming in is doomed to fail. That's not saying the new manager might come in and fail, but from looking back at the previous record, you look at Louis van Gaal, you look at Mourinho, even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Every manager has been thrown under the bus at this football club since Fergie's retired. And until that changes, don't expect United to be challenging anytime soon. And it just proved a couple of weeks ago when it was, I think it was after either a draw or it was a defeat by Wolves, the players were coming out complaining that the morning training sessions had stopped. They were now having to stop at Carrington or the Aon Training Centre or whatever you call it. I call it Carrington. I've known it always as Carrington. I had to stay there till 5 o'clock, so they're driving home in the dark. Big whoop-de-doo. How do you think the public feel? How do you think the people who do 6 till 6 or 5 o'clock in the morning till 4 5 o'clock in the afternoon or even 9 5? How do you think everyone else feels? We all have to do it, so why can't you? And you are getting paid in a month what most of us make in our lifetime. And this is the state of this football club, complaining because they've got to drive home in the dark. I'd love to be driving my brand new Porsche or whatever, pulling up to my 5-story mansion and, jumping in the swimming pool after a training session. I'd love to be doing that, but I can't. But you don't hear me go and complaining about it. So why should you lot? I said, all these players, you play, my opinion, you're playing for still one of the biggest clubs in England and still one of the biggest clubs in Europe. We may not be on a footballing level, but unfortunately, commercial level we are, but anything else, we're miles behind. I still see us as one of the top clubs, but it's like everyone's accepted mediocrity, and until the standards have been raised again, United will just keep falling further and further behind Liverpool and City, which I don't like to see. Even Arsenal have caught us up this season. Banter FC, Arsenal fan TV and chill. Every United fan used to banter them. We used to banter them. Every week we used to tune in. Oh, look, Arsenal's lost again. Arsenal's slipped up again. And now they're above us. And it looks like they've got fourth spot in their hand. And they're going to make Champions League next season. And Spurs are close to us. And even West Ham, with our former manager David Moyes in charge, are close to us. What is going on? And the standards need to be raised higher. The players need to start playing for this football club, or they need to leave. It's ridiculous. As Siobhan said before, most of the squad do need sold, or they do need given away. I'd give nearly all the youth players a chance, because they played better football this season than the senior side has, and that says a lot. And that's embarrassing. These are the players that should be looking up to the first teamers. These are the players should be there. I'll be taking that spot, and the senior players should be mentoring these players to come in. And all the fans should be saying, "Oh, give this player a chance. Give this player a chance." Not this player's better than him. He can come in. He can come. I'll give him a game next week. What are we? But anyways, that's enough of my rant. Before I go, has anyone got any questions that they wanna throw in? It can be about the Glazers, about the players, about even the stadium, the fact that the stadium's fallen apart, and the Glazers have promised us a new 80,000 capacity stadium or renovations. That won't happen. All it is the Glazers trying to get the fans back on the side again, because they know they've been found out. So every media click, every social media thing that comes out from Manchester United and every tabloid, I hardly believe anymore, because I know it's just PR teams spin. That's all this club is about. Spin, trying to get the fans back on side, because the Glazers know that we're onto them. So I can log on to Twitter tomorrow on my break at work, and there'll be something from The Athletic, The Telegraph, The Times. United are doing this. United are doing that. United are doing this. Are United doing that? Are United doing this? We've been waiting and we've been assessing for a new manager since Ollie got sacked and Ranić come in. We've been waiting ages, and we've heard the same names come up. No one knows what's going on. We're not acting like a big club. We're meant to be a big club, but we're not acting like one. Everything's so slow at this club. No one even knows what's going on. The playing staff don't even know who their manager's going to be next year. The transfer staff can't even get started on the transfers for the summer, because they don't even know what manager's coming in and what transfers they want. That puts us behind, because Bayern Munich, Manchester City, Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid all got their structures in place. They'll be planning their transfers for the summer. You look, a name I mentioned last night, Ryan Gravenbach. Next thing you know, I found out he's close to joining Bayern Munich. Another player United are going to miss out on, because United don't have the structure in place. And this season, they don't even have a manager in place to be able to go forward with the transfer funds, and be able to get the players in. No one even knows what Ralph Rangnick's role's going to be. No one knows how much of a hands-on role he's going to take at the club. So no one knows what's going to go on. I'm hoping that United will come back and they'll prove me wrong. And next season, I see them playing scintillating football, and we are up there challenging. And then I'm prepared to eat my words. I'm prepared for everyone to say, "I told you so. United will be back." But I'm yet to see that. I am yet to see that. And it just feels like it's one step forward and 2 or 3 steps back at this football club. MUFC, okay, I do keep the faith and I'm hoping United will be back. But I don't know when. And it's kind of sad considering what was it, about 11, 12 years ago? No, 10, 11 years ago, United were lifting the final Premier League trophy under Alex Ferguson, and RVP was banging goals in front of it. That was our last time we won the Premier League. And since then, Liverpool have won it, City have won it countless amount of times, Liverpool have won a Champions League. And I'm jealous. As a United fan, I never thought I'd say that. I am jealous of the success of other teams. And it shouldn't be like that, but we'll soon see. Right, guys, any questions now before I go? MUFC, okay. So do I. The only problem is the players don't know where they're coming or going. John Murtagh, Darren Fletcher, they don't know whether they're coming or going. No one knows what Darren Fletcher's role is. Apparently it's technical director. No one knows. Same as no one knows what Ralph Wright's consultancy role is going to be and how much of a hands-on role he's going to take. So there needs to be some clarity on the footballing side to what's going on next season. And I'm hoping one of these bidders that are bidding on Chelsea, because there's that many from, Oil Money FC, Chelsea, Russian Oil Money FC. I'm hoping one of these bidders see United and look at it as an investment and look at it as a business model that they can pull round. And because a lot of them do have the money, I think to be able to bring United back and be able to pull that debt out and clear, just let's say, clear the swarm and all the crap out the club. But we need to attract an investor first. And as Chris said before, with this business model, it's hard to attract investors because who'd want to invest in this? Ridiculous wages that they're paying out, failing on the pitch, no European football, which it looks like next season United might not even get Conference League football, even Europa League football. Who'd want it? Same as the players. Who'd want to come to this club next season? And once again, it'll be one of them. We're going to have to throw ridiculous amounts of money at players, salary-wise, and we're just going to be left with the same crap we're left with now. Players on overpriced wages, running down the contracts and then leaving for free. Because that's what happens. The problem is United won't stop paying that big money. They won't. And unfortunately, no matter how much failure has come off, you look at the money spent on Lukaku, Maguire, Pogba, United will still spend that money, which is unfortunate because, as I said last night, they need to start being a lot more smarter with the money. Right, guys, that's a wrap for this evening. That's my rant over, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed listening to me rant. I should be back tomorrow night. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I've got a little bit of research to do, but have a fantastic night, please. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, subscribe to the channel and click a like on this video. Thank you.